Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you. So today I'm going to answer the question on why do I use steroids, or why have I used steroids. I get this question probably 10-15 times a day, ranging from why am I not bigger to what is my goal with them, why did I ever start using them, when did I start using them, anything and everything under the sun. And they're all good questions. I mean, if you guys watch me and you follow me, you want answers to these questions. So let me just address it as best I can. Why am I not bigger? Well, I'm not bigger because I choose to not be bigger. I can sit here and consume 3,500 and 4,000 calories per day if I want. It's very uncomfortable to me. You have to understand my mindset as opposed to many other people's mindsets or certain people's mindsets, because the only reason to use steroids is not to be 500 pounds, everybody. Okay? It's not. There's this thing called aesthetics. There's this thing called performance enhancement. Now, for me personally, I am very, very uncomfortable when I get into a certain weight range. Now, part of that is because I was a fashion model most of my 20s, and I had pressure on me to be thinner, to be a certain weight. You know, I was a four-sport athlete in high school, so I was always in running condition and in training a certain way and a method, and it was never a thing that I had to where I should be too oversized. I was a shooting guard on basketball. I played tennis. I was a wide receiver in football. Baseball, I was a first baseman, but, you know, I was a taller, leaner guy still with a lot of power when I hit. But everything I've done in life has not been catered towards being big. Now, I believe when I think it was 21 or 22, I got up to almost 220, and I was so uncomfortable. I mean, I just hated it. And just recently, last year, if you follow me online, you follow my cycles, I ran a test trend anadrol equipoise cycle, and I gained 25 some odd pounds. I've been up to almost 210. I just recently started cutting again in December, back down to about 190-ish, right around there, because that's where I'm comfortable. Okay, I've used steroids for strength. I've used steroids to get a tighter and more aesthetic physique that you just can't get on your own. I've used them for performance enhancement on sports that I've still been playing after college and everything, in certain leagues and competitive leagues. And I've just used them for, you know, general maintenance, etc. Now I've slowed that down to the point where I'm really kind of not really running much of anything right now aside from TRT and my DGA post CT and SARMs, really, because what I want in life and where my goals are and things of that nature, it isn't to where some other people want to be, you know, 250, 260 pounds, or maybe they're only 5'6" or 5'5" and want to be 220 or 230. That's not my goal, okay? It's not, and that's perfectly fine. There's a lot of people out there that get heat because they're not super huge and they use, you know, any sort of steroid. All steroids aren't made to gain that amount of size, everybody. Is Winstrol and Anavar used to gain 20 and 30 pounds? So why do people even use them then? And that's in that meathead mentality. So why do those steroids even exist? Why does Primabone exist? Why does Masteron exist? Not every steroid is used for bulking and for blowing up to a certain, and don't get me wrong, guys that do bulk and guys that go after that, there's some guys that do that I look at and I think, man, these guys are just monsters. And I love that because I train people for that and I teach people how to do that, and that's what they want to do. See, the beauty of life is that you got choices and options no matter what. Okay, you don't have to do what other people want you to do and tell you to do unless you're working for somebody. Then you probably should listen and do your job. But you have your own choices on why you do things, why you use things, why you eat what you want, why whatever. I'm a runner, okay? I run 6 miles a day. I stair climb 20 minutes a day, and I elliptical another 7.5 miles a day, which takes me about 20 minutes. That's what I do. That's my preference. I do some like side. I don't train to be a fighter. I do boxing with another trainer that I know on the side. I'm not training to fight. I'm just doing it for more cardio, you know, capabilities, and I boxed when I was younger. I'm just something that I did. I mean, it wasn't like a professional thing or anything. It was just something I did kind of hobbyish that helped me train. So it's something I enjoy. You know, I played basketball, I played tennis on the side still now. But for me, that's what I prefer. Okay? My strength is probably a lot higher than most people my size. I don't think I'm anywhere near the strongest guy in the gym, but you know, people will say to me, like, you've certainly lifted a lot for your size. And I think when I walk around, most people think that I have a pretty decent physique. I don't have the best physique known to man, never claimed to. My thing is I've always wanted to six-pack abs, lower body fat, things of that nature. I have to work really hard for that because I gain weight really easily when I eat too much. See, I don't eat very much. You know, my caloric intake compared to what I burn a day is pretty much in a really high deficit, and it has to be for me to maintain the weight that I'm at and where I want to be. Some people, it takes them 5,000 calories to gain a pound. Unfortunately, I'm not that guy. If I ate 3,000 calories a day, which I don't, I would probably be 10 or 12 pounds heavier than I am now just by doing what I do. But I don't eat that much. I don't have that kind of appetite, and I just don't care to stuff myself in that regard. But I'm just telling you what I do because people ask a lot. I'm extremely happy with where I'm at, and that's where I want to be, and that's my prerogative. And, you know, if somebody doesn't like it, I'm sorry. I've been working and teaching people how to use steroids I'm 35 going on 36, and I've been teaching people. I haven't been using them that long. I was in my late 20s, but I've been teaching about them since I was 20. I was studying them when I was 18. I also knew better than to be using them, but I've been coaching and teaching people that long. And, you know, with SARMs, before they were even barely known to the general public, I was starting to learn about them and implement them and use them as soon as that I was able to, and research with them and things of that nature. You know, peptides I've been studying for an extremely long time. I'm not a fan of using them at all, but I can teach on them quite well. HGH I've been studying since, I can't even tell you. I wrote a paper on DHA in college in the year 2000. I've been doing this for a very long time. It's always been my passion and fascination. And I know how my body responds, and that's what you need to learn about your own. What you can and cannot do, what your capabilities are, how your body responds to certain chemical enhancements, to foods, to training. That's what it all comes down to. For my comfort level, for where I'm at, that's how I train, and that's what I do. And that's why I am the way that I am. And like I said, the beauty of that is that's my choice. I've ran everything that you can run to a point so that I can give you firsthand experiences on them. I don't, you know, that's why I've done what I've done. I'm married. I have a family. I take care of my mom. I have stepkids that I take care of. I have people in my family that I do everything I can to take care of, and people depend on me. You guys all rely on me. You look up to me. Some of you do. And so I have to make sure I'm in the best health, conscious, and condition that I can be in. And that's why my thing is now about really not using as much of anything really at all. I put myself on TRT like a moron, like I teach people not to do years ago, which I wish I would have never done, but it's too late. But beyond that, you know, I'm just keeping everything real regulatory and slower, and doing what I do best, and that is teach, motivate, inspire, and try to set a prime example for everybody. And I try to practice what I preach, and I train as hard as I can to be as motivating as I can, and to give people something to look up to, and to inspire people any way that I can. That's what I do. And for some people, that's great. And for some people, they want to take shots at me. And, you know, for me, I don't care. You can say pretty much whatever you want to me. I just kind of laugh and joke with my wife about the fact that people have that kind of time on their hands. Because to me, it's pretty sad, because I can't imagine myself sitting there doing it. But hey, that's the way of the world. The more you try to do, the more voice you try to have, the more people are going to take shots at you for whatever reason. I hate people that just go, oh, so-and-so's jealous, but there is jealousy. There are just people that are hateful, and there's people that just like to troll and stir up things, and that's fine. You know, I don't have that kind of time on my hands. I just laugh it off and move on, because I know that there's people that listen to me and that look up to me and that need my help. So that's why I do what I do. Everybody's got their own reason, everybody's got their own goals, everybody's got their own standards, and everybody's got their own responses to things. So I just wanted to give everybody that answer. I know people wonder, and that's it. So that being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.